Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Cole Obarts Entertainment, providing amusement, celebration, and distraction since 2013. To find out more, visit us on the web at www.coleobartsent.com.
I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and today I would like to introduce you to one of Arizona's talented actors, Mr. Rick Larsen. Hello there.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, aren't you adorable?
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure to see you again. It's not like it's been that long, but such a... So, tell me a little bit about this shirt.
The shirt. Okay. Doesn't have a majorly exciting story. It was a gift from my girlfriend. So, because I like dinosaurs.
Okay.
And shirts and.
I like it. I like the
Thank you.
colors.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very wakes you up.
Mm-hmm. And the glasses. So, is this who Rick is? This vibrant person that loves color and.
I think it's a part of my personality. Sure, I can be I can also dress all in black and not leave the house for 3 days. That's also me.
Well, we have many sides to us.
That's true.
Yes. Depends on the time of the year.
Yes, exactly.
What's going on in life.
That's right. The season of life.
So, yeah. Rick, you're an actor, and I worked with you on a set, a theater, a staged play, but I'd like to get to know a little bit about young Rick.
Okay.
What was it that inspired Rick to get into this industry?
Well, as a kid, I sort of knew probably from like age 9 that I was going to be on Saturday Night Live. I was just expected. Like 4 of my friends, we would practice in the mirror. The little part at the beginning where they kind of and then as I kind of grew up, I kind of drifted away from that. Not really.
As a lot of us do.
Yeah. Not really a strong ambition. Great for people that want to do that. And then I did cartooning and comic books for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Well into my 20s. Was more of a writer who drew than an artist who wrote. But worked on several friends projects or helped get things going.
Is there any that we might know of?
Probably not. I did I want to say 1996, travel to the San Diego Comic-Con and hand out like photocopies of things. So if you were walking by the San Diego Convention Center on one day that year, you might have a copy of some of my work. But yeah, nothing necessarily that anyone that still exists or that anyone would have heard of.
Oh, okay. Is that still an interest of yours?
It is. I'm actually working with one of my friends from that era on putting out an actual book sometime at the beginning of the year. We've got the first couple issues scripted, and we're kind of designing characters and going back and forth on that. But it should be out. And it's like a science fiction Western comedy that.
Okay. So you mentioned Saturday Night Live. Okay. Do you consider yourself a comedic actor?
Yes. So I've been improvising for probably the last 12 years or 12 plus years. I was trying to do the math in the car, and I didn't get. I couldn't remember the exact start date, but yeah, I've been doing that for a while. Been doing a lot of writing sketch comedy shows. So there's right now there's a show running in LA that I sort of virtually contribute to.
Oh, okay.
So I've been writing for that. And
Is that something you can talk about?
Yeah. So the show is called This Week, and it runs in Atwater Village in LA, and it's every week on Thursdays. It's a topical kind of show, so we meet and discuss the news, and then everybody goes off and writes their sketches. And I'm kind of a sporadic contributor. I mean, here and there. But yeah, I haven't actually had a chance to make it out to see any of my sketches before.
No,
I haven't seen what my work looked like, but it's in the plan. Like it's something that I plan to do very soon.
You should.
Yeah.
You know, and I announced you as an actor, but you're also sounds like a huge writer also.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, excuse me, do you ever create content for yourself? Write content for yourself?
I have. I before the pandemic, I probably had like 4 regularly performing, or maybe 2 regular and 1, and maybe 2 or 3 more kind of intermittent improv shows that I was part of. And I do have I did have a sketch show that we ran a few years ago that was mostly, I got a group of actors, and we improvised for a few weeks and then took the best scenes from that and wrote them out into sketches.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Because we're an entertainment show, and we're all about, I like to say training for, especially for aspiring artists. For those that may not know what an improv is, class, or can you just give them a little information on that?
Oh, sure. So improv as kind of an art form or as a live theater experience is something that is, and there are different kinds, and I can talk to that too, but it's essentially a group. There are solo shows as well, but most of the time it's 3 to 8 people, and nothing of it is planned. Like none of the story is pre-planned. There's no script. It's basically just reacting to each other in the moment. And so, 2 people will be in a scene and create a little world, and that can be anything from the stuff I typically do are what's called long form improv, where we start with one possible or no suggestion from the audience and go for half an hour to 40 minutes, or 15 to 40, depending. And each scene is inspired by the previous one, or things like that. There's also a lot of what's known as short form, which is what a lot of people think of, where they play games and they announce that. And there's still a lot of scene work and acting and things involved in that as well. I just have done less of it than the other kind, which I think is kind of a backwards order. Most people start doing the short form and then either keep doing that or move into more of the long form.
It really makes you think, really. I mean, a lot of times people say get out of your head, but a lot of times it takes you there.
Oh, yeah.
It takes you there. I love that. That is something that you do, because you know what, we need more of that. Because, a lot of times, we're given the script, or speaking about self-tapes, we're given the script, which is pretty much just a little piece of what we think is going on in this scene. So sometimes we're doing a self-tape and we're doing a lot of improv because we don't know what else is going on around there or what we should.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I love that you are teaching that. And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So you talk about a short form also. And now that's something I hadn't heard of, is the short form of improv.
Yeah, that's, if you've ever seen like Whose Line Is It Anyway, that's typically how it's set up, where there's a host who introduces, we're going to kind of put they say games, but it's basically, we're going to put these limitations on the actors for right now. They can't say words or every sentence has to be a question, or so it's a limitation that you put on yourself. and then playing that game is where the comedy comes in.
Okay. So, do you feel that this has really improved your skill set as an actor?
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely it helps kind of thinking fast in the moment, or just not freezing up in the moment. But it also teaches you to listen to the other person, and to really try to listen with your whole body, where you're hearing what's really happening and what's the emotion behind what you're saying, and really listening on that level. That I think, it can be very, very helpful for an actor. And it helps with if when things go wrong, kind of recovering from that you're not a complete robot. It sounds very rude, but so you have the flexibility to react honestly in the moment, and pull it back, and then get back onto the script that you need to be on.
Are you an instructor yourself?
I intermittently, I've done a few workshops, and I think I would like to do more. I have one that I do the most often on using emotion in improv. One of the things that a lot of, especially newer improvisers, have worried about or struggled with is, what if I have nothing? Like, I have no ideas. I'm just blank. And one of my teachers taught me that really just means that you're judging what you want to say. You're not. You always have something, because you're alive. You're in the room. You always have something, but you're blocking it off for whatever reason. But if you really feel like you don't have like an initiation for a scene or the start of anything, just react with an emotion. Just bring, you can be sad, you can be angry, you can be happy, and that's enough to, with the help of the other person, we can find out, why are you crying, or why are you, pounding your fist.
Can we do a quick little improv?
Sure.
Look, don't show me off now. Don't give me that too hard now.
No. Okay. So the first kind of lesson that everybody knows about is like yes and basically all that means, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to say yes, but it's a good idea at the beginning. But it means just agreeing on the reality of the world. So
and not shutting you down.
So if I come out and I call you doctor, then your yes part of that is whatever else you were thinking about being, now you're also a doctor, because I've made you that. So to say no to that would be, I'm not a doctor. Right. I'm a pirate.
Right.
And but so say you came out and you wanted to be a pirate, and I made you a doctor. Now you can be a pikate doctor. and we'll just kind of play with that and figure out what that might be. So yeah, I might come in and say, give it to me straight, doctor. How long do I have?
Can you give me a few minutes to think about that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, are you going to be a long time? Do you need anything?
No, I just need to review your chart and see what's going on here. And I love the dinosaurs on your shirt.
Oh, well, thank you. I think it might be a symptom, though, because they weren't there when I put the shirt on, and now I have dinosaurs on my shirt. I mean, can you give me something for it?
Well, dinosaurs are supposed to create happiness. Mm-hmm. So that is a cure. So
I'm actually healthier.
You are healthier because of the dinosaurs.
Doctor, thank you so much. I think that says it all. Yes.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay.
So it's just keeping the conversation going without me shutting you down.
Yeah. And so yes, and then the and part is you might add something to it. Like I said, you might be the doctor. And so, like, for example, in that, when I sensed some hesitation in your answer at first, I thought, well, maybe she's a very cautious doctor, and maybe I can feed that and be like, make you even more cautious. And like, you sure you don't want to? You sure you're ready to make a decision? Like, So we can kind
right,
of,
and
yeah.
it really puts you on a spot and make you think. Like, and you know what? But that's the same thing with having a conversation with people.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, someone new you meet, they may say something or ask you questions. It's the same thing about listening because people don't listen anymore. I mean, because we're preoccupied with our phones and different things, and it's the same thing with being an actor and being on set. A lot of times we're there to be Susie, but I'm thinking about Kathy's stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's shutting Susie down because I'm over here thinking about what Kathy has to do at home and Kathy's kids and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's cutting Susie down, and Susie's not listening to what Rick has to say to her.
Yeah, yeah. On the simplest level, improv is just, I'm becoming this person, and whatever you say, I'm going to react as this person. And a very good tool for that, and part of the emotional workshop that I was talking about, is to just take a second, and it feels like forever, but it really, to the audience, it's very fast. But how does, if you like your example, Susie, how does Susie feel about him saying that? And the stronger the scenes come from when you are affected by it, like you, because it's very natural to play as this isn't important and I don't care, and kind of play that. And sometimes you will get like a laugh from the audience. Somebody comes in, help, I'm dying, and you say, oh, that's too bad, I don't care. And yeah, so you'll get, but then there's nowhere to go from there. You're stuck.
Right.
But if I come in and say, I stubbed my toe, and oh, baby, it's all going to be okay, and you bring some emotion into it, now we have a whole world to explore.
We have somewhere to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. So, are there any new projects that you're working on right now, Greg?
So, like I said, I have the comic book. I have the show, which is running every Thursday. I have an improv show on Twitch that I appear on. It's through the Torch Theater in Phoenix, and on their Twitch channel every Saturday night is Around the House, and it's basically an improvised television show on Twitch. New characters every week, new stories, and the cast fluctuates, grows, and shrinks. In some weeks, it's some people, and but it's always a fun time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's on Twitch, and I'm looking now that places are more open than they were, a year or two ago. At getting out and doing more shows.
So you know what I like to ask you for actors, and a lot of times people are afraid of improv. Even hearing mentioning they're what advice would you give to those people?
Go out and see a show, see more than one show. We have many theaters in town that do regular improv shows, and they're all different. And if you go and you don't like one, try a different one.
Right.
And go on another night. Some shows are very fast-paced and frenetic, and to the point maybe where it's hard to follow, or maybe you like that, but there are other ones that are slower and more patient and more grounded and more realistic. Or
there's the option of maybe auditing an improv class.
That's a possibility. I do know that there are theaters here in town that will do, like, once a month, have a free drop-in class that you can come in and check out. Those are always great if you see yourself doing it and kind of stretching that.
And I think it too to help
barrier.
them with the understanding of what improv is all about also.
Oh, yeah.
So is there any plans to ever do for Rick to do stand-up?
That's a great question. I have not done stand-up in probably 5 or 6 years. I used to do it semi-frequently. It does have the downside that it usually happens at night.
Right.
I like to go to bed. But at the time, I was doing a podcast, and I was like, well,
come on, you comedians like to party. Come on.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't have any immediate plans to do it, but I have done it. One of the kind of hurdles that I faced when I did it was you have to do it a lot, especially I was not like a storytelling comedian. I just had, 10 minutes of one-liners, and it's hard to kind of memorize an entire set if you do it once a week or twice a month kind of thing.
But that's awesome. I love that you're doing the improv and teaching, and I mean, you seem like you have a lot of experience with it, so I love that. Where can our audience reach you?
So I'm on most of the social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all as R Larsen 4 with an E, Larsen with an E. And it's probably those are probably the best places to get a hold of me. And so, like next year when the comic book comes out, I'll have more information on there.
Okay.
Probably start with Twitter, but all of them work.
Okay. Well, it was such a pleasure having you here,
thank you.
Mr. Dinosaur Man. And thank you for joining us here today at Desertwood Days, and I will catch you next time.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Cole, Obarts Entertainment. Providing amusement, celebration, and distraction since 2013. To find out more, visit us on the web at www.coleobarts.com.